A 22-year-old man from Montana named Chance McKenzie Bowen is facing life in prison. Now, why is that? Because he had the audacity to grow marijuana. This sounds like a bad joke, but in fact it's true. He has 178 plants in his possession, and it's suspected that he was involved with the trade in nearby Washington, which of course recently legalized recreational marijuana. So think about this. Here we have a guy facing life in prison and up to a $50,000 fine for growing something right next to a state that if you do the exact same thing, it's a business. And you pay your taxes, and you're a regular person, and you can build a middle-class lifestyle. To say that that makes no sense is a gigantic understatement. Now, this isn't the only devastating news of the day when it comes to the issue of weed. If you remember, I believe it was last week, we discussed a guy by the name of Benton McKenzie. This guy is a terminal cancer patient who grew marijuana, not to get high, but to get the oil out of the marijuana plant to then use to rub on his skin lesions. Because there were some studies and some reports that, in fact, marijuana has an anti-tumor effect, where it actually fights tumors, fights cancer cells. So, and he did it, and he said it also helped relieve the pain. So he was essentially treating himself, and he was brought to trial. Now, he got so sick at the trial, they had to stop the trial and take him to the hospital. Okay? He looked disgusting, but get this. They said, no, he's not even allowed to use the fact that he's sick and he's growing the marijuana not to get high, but to help himself. The judge said he's not even allowed to use that as his defense. So, you know what happened? He was found guilty. A guy with terminal cancer who grew marijuana to treat himself, not even to get high, but to rub the oil on his skin lesions, was found guilty. Wasn't even allowed to have an open court and defend himself using the facts and saying, look, I'm growing this for medicinal reasons. Not even allowed to do that. Now, he's appealing, but of course the concern is he has terminal cancer and a very, very, unfortunately, it's a cancer that kills you very quickly, okay? So the concern is, well, he might die before he even, gets through the appeal process. So this is beyond absurd. We're locking people up for doing something where in states right next door, it's a booming industry. It's a booming industry. People are buying legal marijuana and smoking it and growing it and everything. Okay? I mean, stop and think about if there was somebody who was making alcohol, fermenting alcohol, and they were selling it. The thought of taking that person and locking them up for possibly life and making them pay a $50,000 fine in the year 2014, we'd be out in the street with pitchforks. We'd say, what are you doing? It's alcohol. You can go to any bar and have it. You can go to any convenience store and buy it. It's called freedom. You drink it if you want to drink it. If you don't want to drink it, don't drink it. But don't lock some poor guy up because he's trying to make some money and create a business where he's selling a product. But when it's marijuana, some people in the country go, no, it's legitimate. Even though, by the way, alcohol is way more deadly than marijuana is. Tobacco is way more deadly than marijuana is. But if you grow marijuana, if you sell marijuana, if you use marijuana oil, they basically threw a terminal cancer patient in jail because he's using the equivalent of hemp oil, of hemp lotion. Oh, my God. Look, bottom line, this isn't a political issue. This is not a political issue at this point. It's like a joke. It's like a kangaroo court. The justice system it's comical, it's laughable. Who could look at this and go, that makes sense? I always go back to the alien point. Try explaining this to an alien. Yeah, see, the way our drug laws work is if you take that substance, which is worse than that substance, that you're fine and you can, be the CEO of a major multinational corporation and be a billionaire. But if you take that substance, which is better for you than that substance, well, then we're going to throw you in jail.